so here we are with Mr. Tom Francis of DMS South, who's the sponsor of not only the DMS South Grand Prix here at VIR, but in the NARRA series in general. Tom, we can't thank you enough for being a supporter and a sponsor of NARRA for all these years, and it's really great when you can make it out to the races, not only to show your customers what you have, but we enjoy having you around. What did you think about the weekend overall? Did you have a good time?
It was a great weekend, a lot of support. It was good to see Skip Thomas. That was a good, nice, safe, clean weekend for everybody. So yes, it was a very good weekend.
Yeah, so Dodge should be pretty happy. There were lots of Vipers out there running around, putting down quite a few horsepower. Anything special from DMS South coming out, or any new products you guys are carrying that we should know about?
We've got a big brake kit for the new Gen 5 Viper that we're offering through Viper Exchange. That was developed by SRT Engineering, and we've got a suspension kit that's also we're working with Viper Exchange on putting that out there. Okay, so that's important to know that we're not just talking about race car Vipers here. We're talking about streetable, your car that you would drive every day on the street. And is it just Viper? Or we more than that now? Oh, we can service any brand that's looking for parts. We can take. Okay. Well, fantastic, Tom. Thanks again. We've got a couple more races left this afternoon. We hope you come back down and join us for the time trial podium. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for a great weekend. Thanks.
Alright, so sitting here on Friday afternoon, just got finished with the second GT practice of the day, of the weekend, at the DMS South Grand Prix of VIR. Sitting here with Victor Caldarelli. So, how was practice?
It was good. Track conditions were much improved from this morning. Plenty of grip. Everybody played nice out there. It was a good time.
How's the Viper running?
Viper's running good. We did some modifications to improve cooling on it, and it's spot on as of right now.
Expect to have a good race day tomorrow?
Yeah, I expect to. Hopefully we'll find some cars to play with and have a good time.
So I see you have Lintz Collision as your major sponsor on your car. Can you tell me a little bit about them?
Yeah, it's my friend's shop, Brad Lintz. He's my crew chief at the races. His dad owns it. And we run the place for him, and yeah, we have 5 paint jobs out here this weekend that we've painted race car wise, so business is good.
Do you mostly specialize in race cars, or do you also do street cars?
Mostly specialize in collision work. We'll do full restoration, show paint jobs, custom paint jobs, and just recently, over the past couple of years with my involvement in racing, we'll do race cars.
Great, so what kind of lap times can we expect from you tomorrow?
That I'm not sure. We were on Pirelli's last year, so it's really hard to gauge where the Hoosiers are at.
Gotcha. All right. Anyone else you want to say thanks to?
I want to thank Lintz Collision for the sponsorship, my crew chief, Brad Lintz, and all the friends and family that support this crazy hobby we do.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
So Rick, congratulations on winning Time Trial 1 on Saturday and Sunday, both days here at the DMS South Grand Prix of VIR. Yesterday your top time with the 153.9, and today you beat that even with a 153.7. You must have been feeling pretty good for the last 2 days.
Yeah, Aaron, thanks so much. It's just so great to be back here with NARRA at VIR, one of those great tracks. And the car's been working well. I've got my top ace with me, Derek Easty. He keeps me on track, shows me where those extra tenths are. We were able to put down some good times. I believe might even be a record time for the class here.
Yes, I'm going to go confirm that in a little bit, but yes, I believe that is a record time. We'll make it official when we get through the rest of the day.
Sure.
One of the things we chatted about a little while ago, time trial is different than racing in the way that strategy plays out. We often talk about traffic, and I know you always think you've got a faster lap in you. You were saying earlier that you think there was still a little bit more left out there today.
Yeah, I think we left a half second, maybe a second on the table. But we'll pick that up over the next little while, and I'm still working with the top speed guys to make some more changes to the car. We need to get some weight out of the car. We still, as you know, weighed in at 4,000 pounds. So if you're pushing basically a street car around here at 4,000 pounds at $153, then that's about the limit. So we need to get some weight out of it. Derek's working with me to get some more weight out of it and get it fine-tuned. So we'll look to come back to the next event and do even better.
Well, listen, Rick, we know you and Derek work very hard to both get here, you know, continue through the weekend, and put on the show that you do, and we really appreciate it, and we thanks a lot for coming out and joining us again.
My pleasure.
See you at
Next event.
Pittsburgh, or no, sorry, Mid-Ohio.
Mid-Ohio. We're looking forward to that.
That's going to be the Forge Line Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We look forward to it.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Thanks,
Rick.
Okay.
All right, so I'm sitting here with Daniel and Chuck Quinton. This is not a car we usually see. Chuck usually driving the Ferrari Challenge 360. Just stepped out of a Radical. So how did this happen?
My race car broke, and my second race car that we were supposed to bring up here, we didn't end up not bringing it up here. Now we're trying to scramble to get it up here, but the fourth lap of the warm-up first session of the day, my diff just grenaded. So now I'm stuck. That car's, the left side, the left wheel will turn, the right one doesn't, so it's pretty slow. So we had to park that one, and then I'm here with Wisco Racing, who is my team supports the Ferrari, and they're a big Radical team, and they're based here at VIR, and I was like, hey, I'm just gonna walk across the paddock and talk to these guys. So I talked to my team manager Arnie, and I'm like, hey, what's it gonna take to get me one of those Radicals? And he grabbed Daniel, and here we are.
So Daniel, what do you think about having Chuck in one of your cars?
First, I want to point out at first, this has in no way any implication that the Ferrari is an unreliable race car. All right? Race cars are race cars, and that's the way it goes. But I guess what happened is Chuck took the best, most advantage he could out of the day to salvage the rest of his day. And yeah, I mean, that's what we do. We're based out of VIR, so we're obviously here to provide a service, and obviously any opportunity we can get somebody to experience a Radical firsthand, you know, we like to take on that challenge. So I think he made a good decision. It's a great car. It's great, you know, really easy to get up to speed. So I think he's finding it a pretty suitable little, you know, sort of race car, you know, to finish off the day anyhow. So it just ended up working out pretty well.
So Chuck, what's it like? What's the comparison driving the Ferrari to driving this?
Oh man, I hate to say this, but this is a proper race car. I mean, it's just a purpose-built race car. You know, I've only been doing this for a year, so this is my first. I started out in a Ferrari 360 and then went to a Ferrari 360 Challenge, so I kind of went the wrong way about this. So going to something like this was pretty killer experience, and it kind of ruined the Ferrari for me for a little bit. It feels like a big heavy pig now compared to this thing. When you're flat out from turn 4 all the way up to turn 10 at VIR, it's a little different experience. So I'm kind of jaded now.
Very cool. So Daniel, tell me a little bit of what Wisco is and about your company.
Yeah, of course. I mean, our you know, from our genesis, we've always been a race team, and always you know, take on motorsports as our first initiative. From formula cars, we evolved into prototypes, and here we are today as a Radical distributor based out of VIR. We operate an arrive and drive mechanism, and we're also regional distributors for Radical. We import them from the UK, and also providing coaching services, trackside services, support, mechanical service, parts, you know, the whole deal. And you know, Radical's a brand that's you know, has a lot of pedigree. They've been around for years and years and years, which speaks a lot about the brand. And you know, we definitely stand behind the product, and this is something that we want to give everyone the opportunity to explore here at VIR.
So if anybody out here listening wants to get in touch with you, wants to get into Radical, how can they find you?
All right, anyone can find us just by simply looking us up. WiscoRacing.com has all of our contact information. WISKO. Somebody just went off and turned 3, by the way. That was pretty cool. Or also look us up on Facebook. We got a good little Facebook page going, and we try to do as much as we can, you know, staying active with social media and stuff like that. But if you ever do really want to, you know, get in the car firsthand, all you got to do is come to VIR. That's a really good start.
Awesome. And then Chuck, to close it out here, can we plan on seeing a Radical parked in the paddock with the short bus?
It's a very you know, I just bought a 458 Challenge last week, and so I'm running out of room. But yeah, there's a pretty good possibility. If my wife's probably gonna insist on the closed cockpit version, but there's a pretty good chance here.
Very cool. Thank you both, and glad to have you guys here at NARRA.
Thank you.
Sitting here with Jeff Spear from Hoosier Racing Tire on here at the DMS South Grand Prix of VIR. So tell me a little bit about Hoosier Racing Tire.
Hoosier Racing Tire is family owned. Bob and Joyce Newton started it well over 50 years ago. Bob has since passed in 2012. We greatly miss him. Joyce Newton and the staff at Hoosier continue to run Hoosier out of the small town of Lakeville, Indiana. We're located about 15 minutes south of South Bend.
So what kind of what all tire lines do you carry? What vehicles do you cover?
Generally speaking, let's start with asphalt oval. We have dirt oval, road racing, circuit racing, some people call drag racing, and kind of the newest, it's probably less than 10 years old, is karting. So we have a variety within those product lines. We have a lot of different compound sizes to fit different vehicles, but really that's the general amount or number of tire lines we carry.
Very cool. So you're involved with NARRA. You're the official spec tire of NARRA?
We are. For 2015 we are. We had been in the past. Looking forward to another successful year with NARRA. We provide on-site at every track event that NARRA attends. We provide trackside support and sales. We'll always have a technician like myself here to help the guys set up their cars and air pressures utilizing our Hoosier Racing Tire either slicks. We have two options. We have racing slicks and then our new DOT R7 or A7 tire line for the TT guys.
Very cool. So is there anything we can look forward to the future out of Hoosier?
A lot of things interesting are happening outside of the United States. We have a lot of international sales, individuals we sell to and distributors, and we're looking at expanding actually in Europe or beyond. So we've really got some visionaries at Hoosier Tire looking beyond the borders of the U.S. But truly, I see motorsports growing here in the U.S. We've got some contracted series outside of NARRA that we work with, and it's really a great success story of a small mom and pop shop growing to where we are today.
Very cool. So we from NARRA very, very much appreciate Hoosier's involvement and look forward to a great season with you guys.
Yes, thank you very much.
So sitting here with Jim Booth and Jim Garrett after round 5 of the U.S. PR Championship here at Virginia International Raceway. Jim, tell me about your laps and your experience.
Well, I had a great race. I mean, he was all over me for the first 2/3 of the race. Then all of a sudden, I looked back and he wasn't there. I don't know what happened. And then I got on the radio. My engineer said, "Well, he's down. He's not running." So then I tried to go into a cruise mode. I asked what kind of laps Jim Garrett was running, so I could back off a little bit. And then with 3 laps to go, I guess is what it was. The engine cut out, so I have to come to a stop, wait 5 seconds, refire it, start up again. I almost hit Jim coming through. It refired, the car jumped, and I almost hit him going around me. So I got another little lead on him, and it cut out again. Jim goes flying by, and I guess that was on the white the last lap. So I had a great time. NARRA's done a great job. I'd like to thank Wisco Racing. They've done a great job with everything, and the NARRA staff. You guys run a great show. It's safe. Appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Jim. So Jim Garrett, what was your experience? The spin to win theory?
Well, I would have preferred to not have done that. I was finally closing in on the leader there. Jim Booth was just running really, really great and had been very slowly working my way up. And coming into 3, I just went in a little hot, baked it, came around. While I was going around, I was downshifting, got it back down to 2nd gear, and was pointing the right way, so I just started going again. And
so what possessed you that last lap to pull off that winning lap?
Jim had done an excellent job all race, but he was looking a little bit slower there, so it was just an opportunity to capitalize. And anytime you're racing, you got to capitalize on whatever anybody else does.
Very cool. Anyone you want to thank?
Oh, I want to thank Eurosport and I want to thank Motul.
Very cool, thank you. And joining us as well is NARRA's here, his official 2nd race after joining us at Watkins Glen, taking a 2nd place in the PR1 category. How was your day?
Well, the day was good. I got to run the car with the new motor, thanks to Bob Willis. Well, the car didn't hold up as good as myself. Last time I couldn't hold up to the car, so it got overheated and all sorts of problems, but I had fun. I spun and I came back and I passed a couple of people for the first time in race. So that was cool. Clean passes.
Very cool. Anybody you want to thank?
Thank Viper. They worked very hard for the car to get going. Cannot thank you enough. Vic, Ryan, and Corey. And NARRA, of course. This is a fantastic event. I recommend all to my friends to come back here. And it's a great race.
Great. Hopefully we see you next year for the PR Championship as well.
You will.
Sitting here with Doug Nash, who just recently acquired a brand new Viper GTS, I believe it is.
Yes, sir.
And so how did you come about this car?
I bought it through my friend that I race with, and that I'm crewing for his car on, Frank Lucier, who owned the car very briefly. He was a former dealer and had bought it, and I've purchased it from him.
Okay, is this your first Viper?
First one I've had for a street legal Viper. I've raced the GTS cars, GTR, and the Comp Coupe, and it's the first street legal street car I've had, Viper, yes.
Very cool. So I've seen John B cruising around in it, kind of doing the pace laps. How does that feel?
Well, I wanted to be, this series has just been great for me as I came up from DE and all the ranks and began racing, and I wanted to help. They came up short on the pace car for this year, and it worked out right. I took delivery of it here last night. I'll have all the first pictures of the car will be completely decaled and lighted and everything, and pacing the Grand Prix at Road Atlanta, and after it's over we'll take it all off. It'll become a sedate home car, and John B normally paces the races, and he knows the Viper well. He's been doing it for years with NARRA, and he's taking good care of it, I think.
So sedate and Viper GTS are generally not two words you put together in a sentence, so that's kind of interesting. Anything else? Anybody else you want to thank?
No, just everybody here. It's an outstanding weekend. This is one of the best tracks in the world, and it's nice. It draws people in, and the mix of cars is nice. It's nice to see so many Vipers out here in the mix, along with Ferraris and exotics, and everyone getting along as usual, which has always been the best part of this series. Everybody helping and really clean, good driving, getting up to speed carefully on a practice day like you should be today, and looking forward to the rest of the weekend.
Great, thanks Doug. Congratulations on the new car.
Thank you.
The DMS South Grand Prix of VIR for 2015 with Leland Blanding in the time trial unlimited class. Leland, as we stand here on this sort of champagne-soaked winner's podium, how'd you feel about the weekend overall?
Beautiful weekend, great people as always. I missed it Watkins Glen, I really regretted that, but it's always fun to come out and run.
Now, you've got one of the more different cars in the paddock, when you come to a NARRA event. Versus the Nissan GTRs and a lot of the Vipers and Corvettes that we see. But whenever I walk by your paddock spot, there's always a few people hanging around looking at your car. I bet it draws a few people over, huh?
It's different, it's a fun car, it's a heavy car, solid rear axle, not much traction compared to the horsepower, but it's kind of what the Viper was all about when I started, and I like it, it's fun.
Well, it sounds fantastic coming down the front straight. It sounds very, very mean and healthy. So today, on Saturday, you turned in a best lap of a 1:59.9, which puts you in first place in TTU overall. And today, that second session, you went a little faster, 1:59.3. So you bettered your time a little bit today over yesterday. Anything to do with something you did overnight, or just?
I raised the track bar about 1.5 inches to try to get some more turn in, and that helped. And I raised a little bit of pressure, air pressure in the tires, but I think the track bar is what helped me turn in a little bit better.
And a one-man crew, so you're doing all of it on your own.
It's everything. Get the cool suit ready, get everything ready. But
yeah, I think I went by your paddock to say hi, and I didn't even know you were in the car, kind of upside down, trying to get to something. But NARRA really appreciates the hard work that you put in, and especially the one-man and the two-man small crews. And we can't thank you enough for coming out to that. We hope you had a good time.
I had a great time. It's always a pleasure with you guys. Thank you.
All right.